Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be ranking transfers in football history from worst to best. Best being that it was worth it and they overperformed their expectations, and worst being that they flop and didn't even get playing time. Make sure to like and subscribe, and let's start. This will be top 15 transfers in my opinion. You can obviously have your opinions and your thoughts. So let's start. So number one, we have Lionel Messi, who moved from Barca to PSG. The transfer fee was near zero, but the player moving to PSG wasn't magical. So many people thought that him, Neymar, and Mbappe are going to cook, but in the end, that never happened. Messi was basically an outcast and was treated wrong by his teammates, and they also got knocked out fairly early in the Champions League. This deal was a flop, but not as big as a flop, so I give him a bad transfer. Next on the list, we have Harry Kane from Tottenham Hotspur to Bayern Munich. Obviously, the signing of this transfer window, but what a player he has been. He has the most goals in Europe for 5 leagues, and he is on course to break Lewandowski's record for all-time top scorer in the Bundesliga. Obviously, he still has a whole season in front of him, but from what we've seen, he definitely goes into best transfer. Now we have Harry Maguire. For that sort of money going to Manchester United at that time, you obviously have to be a really good player. But now, this is Harry Maguire we're talking about. He just lost 3-0 to Bournemouth with Manchester United. But you can't blame him because Manchester United right now are in a crisis. But still, for a club captain before that. Right now, I think he goes to average, but if you're talking about 1 year before, that I would definitely put him in a flop transfer. But he also has been on a comeback, so that's kind of good. Now we have what many people and I would call the biggest betrayer in football history, Luis Figo. The scenes when he joined Barcelona from Real Madrid and the things that were thrown at him, it was crazy. But that's not what I base my rankings on. It's how good they played. And Figo was a class player for Barcelona. Winning the Champions League, Ballon d'Or, and La Liga while playing with them is wild. He goes into the best transfer tier. Next up, we have Ousmane Dembele from Dortmund to Barcelona. He was a failure, not winning any major trophies, always being injured, and the sort of money you would expect a player to win the Champions League for you. But no, his biggest accomplishment is losing 8-2 to Bayern Munich and being called Dembele by his own fans. I think he is close to being a flop, but is not, so he joins Lionel Messi. Next up, we have Andre Onana. Just before saying anything, flop. Listen, this brother cannot goalkeep properly to save his own life. Whenever the other team is facing United and see Onana in goal, they say, screw it, Onana's in goal, and shoot from their own half, and somehow it will go inside. For £80 million, this monstrosity, Altay Bayender, he is better than him, and he is a substitute goalkeeper. Definitely a flop for me. Now moving on to one of the best talents in the world, Vinicius Jr. Wow man, this guy has been so consistent and is so good for Real. It's crazy how good he is. He moved from Flamengo to Real Madrid, and it's fair to say they got more than what they ordered. He is a key playmaker and the key to mostly all of their goals. Definitely into the best transfer. So we have 3 players in best transfers, none in good transfer, 1 in average, 2 in bad, and 1 flop. 7 down, 8 to go. And now we got Eden Hazard. Man, I feel bad for him. He was one of the best players in his prime. No one could stop him at Chelsea, but then injuries and Real Madrid plagued him. He was stuck on the bench and called Burger Boy for no absolute reason. But I cannot let that stop my ranking, so ranking no unbiased or sympathy rankings. He was a flop, and then he is a second player to go in flop. Okay, now we have one of the best Brazilians, Kaká. He was something else, and when he moved from AC Milan to Real Madrid, it was bound to be a successful deal, and it was, no doubt. But not so much for Real Madrid. He only won 1 La Liga, not so successful, but still, what a player he was. So he goes into a good transfer, our first player of good transfer. Then we have one of the best players after Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, from Manchester United to Real Madrid. This transfer was unbelievable, and Ronaldo did so much for Real, winning multiple Champions League and domestic trophies. No doubt, first thought that comes into my mind is best transfer, and if you say otherwise, well, I cannot say anything. It's your opinion, but you're just dumb. Now, the Ninja Turtle himself, Kylian Mbappe from AS Monaco to PSG for over 100 million euros. What a signing, but he has not really won too much. It's so easy to win the League One, but that's all he has won. Not so successful, and an unpopular opinion, but he goes into an average transfer. Mbappe and Harry Maguire on the same level. Crazy. Now we have for the most expensive transfer in football history and the biggest waste of talent too. Neymar Jr. for 225 million euros from Barcelona to PSG. Man, I wish this had not happened. He was so good. PSG just wasted his talent and made him hungry for money, and that ruined him as now he's playing in Saudi. So PSG wasted him, lost profit, and let the best talents in the world just lose it in a few months. He goes into a flop. Now we have Erling Haaland. Anything not a best transfer is wrong. I mean, sure, he is a pen and tap merchant and he is ghosting this season, but last season was something else. He was unbelievable and led Manchester City to a treble. Goes into the best transfer. Now we have Luis Suarez, another best transfer. He won so much for Barcelona, Champions League, La Liga's domestic trophies, and so much more. Even though he left for Atletico, he has won so much for them and did so much. So that proves his worth. I think he goes into best transfer. Last up, we have Zinedine Zidane from Juventus Real Madrid. This was one of the best deals, I tell you. He was so good for both teams and won so much for both of them. And another best transfer. And now that we have finished, make sure to like and subscribe. Anything that you want to change, just tell me. And I'll read to all your comments. And make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.